I kind of actually like this. I don't know. Hey, Max.
You're always eating. I love the open book tests. Like, it's so true. It's ridiculous.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining. I'm just going to wait a little bit and give everyone a chance to join. Today we're reading Chapter 4 of TWINK, written by the beautiful Taylor Saracen. Make sure, if you don't have it yet, to pick up your copy on Amazon. There's a link in my Twitter bio. Somebody already requested to be on the live. After the reading, I'm going to take some calls on live videos, so if you decide you want to say hi, then I'd love to see your face. Thanks, everyone, for joining. Hey, Francis. Gamer Wolf. Kyle Jag. Also, there's a very special treat today. I have Ryan here.
Howdy.
Joining. I'm trying not to show my Christmas tree that I still haven't taken down. There's Ryan. He's got his very own copy. So, okay. I had to ask forgiveness when I took my shirt off, but I knew you guys might appreciate it, so. Hey, Matthew. I've been doing great. Gay Vienna Awards was last night, for those of you who might have missed it, and I was lucky enough to take home a trophy. I won Favorite Twink. Here's my trophy. Check it out. I'm a winner, baby. This one is a fan-voted award, so anybody who took time to vote, thank you so much, especially Francis. I think Francis must have voted it like a million times. He kind of skews the results for me, so thank you guys so much for making this happen. It was a great show, and I'm so happy to have taken home a trophy. I was not expecting that. So for this book club, today I have a vodka and 7-Up. So get your drinks ready because we're about to get started. And the drinking game is anytime we talk shit about my mom in the book, take a drink. Do you want a popcorn read or should I just do it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Okay.
Popcorn read. I haven't heard that in forever.
Well, hey, let's see if I can set this down or something. There we go. There, it's a good crotch shot. That's perfect. Up a little. Thanks, Ryan. All right, everybody. So we're on chapter 4, page 19. Excuse me. Here we go. Several hours and one open book test later, Kyle sat at a table, picking aimlessly at a plate of crinkle-cut French fries. It was difficult to work up an appetite when his stomach began churning every time he walked into the cafeteria. He dreaded that moment when he would inevitably take a seat at a table in the corner of the room, hoping miraculously someone would show him some mercy and sit on the empty chair across from him. The only person who ever did was Chris, and that was a sporadic occurrence due to his brother's near-constant assignment to lunch detention. God damn, I'm having trouble with these. The ostracization, right? How do you say that?
Ostracization.
The ostracization.
Ostracization.
Ostracization had driven him to consider the cliche teenage nightmare of choking down his meal in a bathroom stall. Though he would be relieved to be purposely alone, the idea of attempting to eat on a toilet was more unappealing than trying to ingest the shitty French fries in the first place. It was ironic that they tasted how he felt about Tennessee, cold and salty. He knew he needed to get over it. It was exhausting to be constantly angry, yet he hadn't found a way to effectively abate the dark emotions. From the smile on Chris's face as he crossed the room towards Kyle, it was obvious he'd found a way to move past the awfulness, at least temporarily. Hey, fag, how was the walk? Chris asked, immediately grabbing a fry off Kyle's plate. Having lost his appetite thanks to the soggy sticks, Kyle cringed and Chris continually shoveled them in. Fine, Kyle replied, taking a swig of his Coke and sloshing it around and the inside of his cheeks in an attempt to rid his mouth of the fries' aftertaste. That was totally one of those immature things you do when you're pissed. You think you'll get some sort of reaction, but really, nobody gives a fuck, and you're just punishing yourself. Kyle hummed, focusing on the contents of the tray that was now fully in front of his brother. Speaking of punishing yourself, it's called eating, Chris snarled. You put something in your mouth, mash it up with these sharp things sticking out of your gums called teeth, then ingest food to give your body nutrients and energy. As Kyle glared at his twin, unimpressed, Chris continued, You should try it sometime. Mom's not right about a lot of things, but she's not a total idiot. You do look thin. I don't look thin anymore. I'm like sitting here like a slob. Aggravated, Kyle punched out a heavy sigh. We're literally identical. How about you worry about your own scrawny body, and I'll take care of mine? I've got 3 pounds on you, Chris stated. So that makes you an expert on health and well-being? Remember who's older and wiser. I'm 9 minutes older. Yes, because our parents have really proven time and time again that with age comes wisdom, Chris laughed. Your extra 9 minutes on Earth instantly made you a sage. Pretty much, Kyle confirmed, grinning at his brother. The smile dropped when he considered Chris's words. The last thing he wanted to do was lose weight, knowing how difficult it would be to gain it back. As if he didn't have enough to worry about, his inability to put on pounds and achieve the athletic physique he desired was an immutable irritation. Eat or don't eat, I don't care. We have more important things to talk about. Oh yeah, Kyle wondered. I figured out a way to get out of Tennessee. Raising an interested eyebrow, Kyle gestured for Chris to continue. Weed? What? We need to start selling weed, his brother stated flatly, as if becoming drug dealers would alleviate all their issues and be the answer to every future problem they may encounter. Absolutely. How does that even help? He scoffed. We'll be able to sock away some money, and as soon as we turn 18, we can move back to Texas, Chris snapped his fingers for emphasis and smiled like he had just proposed they join the drug game in order to get out of Tennessee eventually. That's in 2 years, Kyle noted, chiding himself for being disappointed that the important conversation was bunk. I know how to count, Chris retorted. I'm serious, Kyle. Think about it. We save up a little cash, then we go back to Dallas like straight ballers. We can get a nice place in Austin, pull a bunch of college pussy. Straight? Pussy? It still sounded more appealing to Kyle than Iris Valley. I thought you were going to tell me something way more immediate than this. Like what? Kyle shrugged. I don't know, giving Mom a basement lobotomy or something. Oh, that's a drink. You drink every time there's shit talk about my mom. Giving Mom a basement lobotomy or something. Yeah, Chris chuckled, because that's a lot more realistic than saving up to get a place in the future. Saving up for a place by selling drugs, Kyle whispered, peeking over his shoulder as if anyone was actually close enough to hear what he said. Since when are you such a Boy Scout? Chris questioned. We were Boy Scouts, Kyle smirked. The mere mention of their scouting days reminded him of Richard Markman and how he really should give his old friend a call. We got kicked out of the troop for lighting that trash can in the rec room on fire, Chris noted. Even as Boy Scouts, we were smoking people out. He reached across the table to playfully pinch Kyle's cheek. Can you take that out of here? I can't. It's just distracting. Here, the computer.
Oh, yeah.
Just go.
Yeah.
You used to be entrepreneurial, Kyle admonished, recalling the many quote-unquote businesses he and Chris ran as kids. Whether it was selling candy to classmates at school or begging their nanny to set up a lemonade stand in the front yard of their West River home, they were hustlers. Used to be? Who came up with the idea? Chris exclaimed, tossing one of the french fries at Kyle's face. You can have tons of ideas, but if you don't know how to follow through with them, you're a philosopher, not a businessman, Kyle stated, narrowing his eyes at his brother. So I'm the boss and you're the brains? Chris offered. Braun, Kyle corrected, since you have 3 pounds on me now. Chris tissed but didn't argue. Instead, he reached his hand across the table. So we're in business then. We're in business, Kyle confirmed as he shook his twin's hand. All we need now is the product and a plan. I'll handle it, Kyle promised. And while I'm doing that, you can try to get friendly with some more stoners at school so we'll have customers when we're ready to go. I'm already friendly with a bunch of dudes. Get more friendly with more, faggot, Kyle suggested, nodding towards a group of grungy-looking kids sitting at a table diagonal from theirs. Chris grinned. I'm on it. As Kyle watched his brother assimilate into the group, he reminisced about how nice it had been to not be an outcast. It was a feeling that had become so foreign to him that he typically didn't dare allow himself to think of his friends for more than a few seconds, finding it too painful to miss what he no longer had. Somehow, the excitement of his new business venture helped Kyle handle the nostalgia better than he usually did, and compelled him to pull his phone out and toggle to Richard's name. And then these are texts here. Kyle, hey, how are you? Holy moly, you're alive? It's been too long. I'm doing well. How are you? Fine. You seemed gloomy about everything the last time we talked. Are things better now? It's not home, but it's cool. Not a big deal. You play everything off. You're allowed to have emotions about it. I have a lot of emotions about it. Well, you're allowed to share them then. What if once I start, I can't stop? How do I handle it then? One day at a time. It may take a while, but things will get better. And maybe one day it will feel like home. I just wanted to say hi. Hi. Hi, Richard. Now that's over with. Tell me what you've been up for the past month. I'd rather tell you over the phone. How about I give you a call later? Later, as in this afternoon, or another 4 weeks? Oh, come on. Kyle didn't have the heart to admit it would be a while. He couldn't afford to be raw, and he already felt his guard dropping. Sliding his phone back into his pocket, Kyle cleared his tray, gave Chris one last glance, and climbed the stairs to hide in the bathroom for the rest of the period. So, we're selling weed now in the book. And, yeah. So, how about that? This chapter is interesting because it shakes some memories loose when I was at this school. I had so many friends in my original hometown, and then we moved to this new school, and, you know, I could get over, like, being bored in class, things like that. But what was really tough was the lunchroom. I would go to lunch, and everyone would be sitting with their friends. Everyone would have a place where they fit in. And I didn't know where to sit. I didn't know who to sit with. I felt like going up to a table full of kids I didn't know. It was just awkward. Like, why would they want to sit with me? They're like, who the hell are you? So I ended up either sitting with the geeks or just by myself. And it was awful. Like, going to a school lunch and not knowing who you're going to sit with, not knowing, you know, any of that is tough. But anyways, that is chapter 4. Or wait, was it 5? Yeah, it was 4. Thanks, everybody. Okay, so by the way, I have a new scene dropping tonight with Kevin Daly. This one's going to be a good one, guys. So make sure to check out the scene. Also, if you haven't yet and you'd like to read along, pick up your own copy of TWINK, available on Amazon, written by Taylor Saracen. So now that the reading is over, I'd like to take some questions and even some video calls. If anyone's brave enough to call in, they can join me on this chat, and we'll see what's up. Oh, look, here we have one. Crazy Chad 355. All right, let's see if we can get him here. Ryan, you should come for this part.
Oh, I did not know that was going to happen. Hi.
Hey, what are you doing?
Nothing much. I was playing my Xbox.
I'm here with my older bro. Hi. Say hi.
Hi.
What's your name? Where are you from?
I'm from Davenport, Iowa.
Yeah, right on.
Hey, and your name is Chad. Was it Chad?
Yeah, my name is Chad.
Hey, nice to meet you. Thanks so
Uh,
much for joining the reading. I think it's so cool afterwards we get to talk to you. That's so nice of you to call in.
Yeah, this is. I've never actually would kind of communicate on video chat on Instagram. This is my first time anyway.
I started doing this last week. Someone happened to call in, and I'm like, oh, well, it'd be fun to take these calls. So,
Yeah.
did you catch the reading part and all that? Oh, what do you think?
I was just listening, I guess. I was just like doing some messaging and part of the IM box, the little IM box and everything else, just texting and everything else. That's pretty much what I was doing.
Oh, nice.
But
Yeah,
yeah, may I ask where you guys from?
from Texas originally. Um,
Texas?
yeah, Texas, and then now I'm based out of Las Vegas, and then my brother he lives in San Diego. So,
I never been to San Diego or Los Angeles or any parts of California. I've been to California before, and I've been to because I got a friend of mine that lives out there. He's in Sebastopol, California. But I have my really benefit interest of going to visiting my first time to it's called San Francisco, California, because
oh,
it's
you
where
have to do it. Southern California is like a totally different vibe. Where did you say you were from?
Davenport, Iowa.
Oh,
I was
Iowa.
raised and born here in Davenport, Iowa, in the
Oh
Quad
man, you
Cities.
must be freezing your ass off out there.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we got like pretty much like there's like snow on the ground, and it gets kind of boring because I'm like inside the house playing video games, and I'm just waiting until spring comes around. I'm more into hobbies in the
Nice.
summertime when weather
Well,
comes
let
around.
me
Like
tell you, you will
I
love
have,
Southern California. When I went out for the first time, I lived in San Diego 5 years before I moved to Vegas, and oh my God, it's a whole
yeah,
different world. So I would
yeah,
definitely encourage it. Get out there anytime you can. Hit the beach, all that stuff. It's great. Um,
yeah,
anyway,
yeah. Is there anything interesting out there in California that because like is there like a lot of car shows going on out
I mean,
there?
there's the beach.
They
Really
do have car shows
They
in
have car shows.
town where I live. Yeah, they have
awesome,
Boulevard car
awesome.
shows and
My favorite part about it is like San Diego, at least it's such a neighborhood vibe. Like everybody's riding bikes around, people are walking their dogs, and
Right.
people are just outside all day long. It's very communal. And like
Yeah,
Vegas, for example, or even like Texas, you're kind of situated in your house, and people aren't
yeah,
out on the sidewalk. They're driving their cars everywhere, and having an
yeah,
event is like it's more like invitation versus like people just show up and then come knock on the door and you say hi and all that. But anyway,
yeah.
so nice talking to you, Chad. I'm gonna see if we can get another caller in here. Thank you so much. I appreciate you showing your face
Yeah, hey,
and saying hello.
yeah, like I said, man. You can feel free to message me anytime you like to if you need any company and stuff. I'm always here, and really the
To
last would be
slide
great.
into
I
your
mean,
DMs.
hey, you can do that many times you want, man. Because sometimes I'm on Xbox busy or something like that. But
Oh,
yeah,
cool. Well, we'll
um,
see, and maybe I'll play you on Xbox or something. I like to play a lot of Xbox, so that's cool.
you got
Of
Xbox
course.
too? Oh wow,
Of course.
awesome.
All right, take it easy, Chad.
Yeah, I get on. Yeah, yeah,
Bye.
you too. Bye.
All right, well, that was Chad from Davenport, Iowa. Thank you so much for calling in. So we're taking more video calls now. If you'd like to call in and say hello and show your face. Mojo says San Diego's awesome. Yes, it is. I miss it so much. Living in Vegas, honestly, kind of like it's an adjustment period. It sucks. Caitlin says, "Do you and Max still talk? Not to be rude, I saw a picture of y'all yesterday." Yeah, we're not officially like dating anymore or anything like that, but we definitely hang out all the time. Um, Last night we were at the Gay Vienna Awards and we did like red carpet stuff together, things like that. We're still very close. Oh, and I definitely scored after. Love from India, Kyle. Thank you. Love you too. All right, guys. So submit your questions, call in, anything like that. Once I get bored, I'm gonna get off this thing. I'll show some body shots here for a minute. It's too easy. I'm thinking about going for another 20 pounds. I'm 140 now, and I think another 20, I'll be happy. Hey, Biruk. All right, guys. Well, make sure that I'm gonna get off here now. So make sure that you catch my scene tonight. It drops at 9 o'clock PST, so it should be in the next half hour. Caitlin says, "Do you still do Helix?" Yeah. I have a scene coming out tonight. It's a big dick scene, so don't miss this one. Actually, it was one of my favorite scenes to film with Kevin Daly. So you can catch that on the Helix Studios website in about a half hour. I'm very excited for this one to come out. Yeah, I don't know why, but the big dick scene. I'm sitting next to my brother saying this too. The big dick scenes are like so much easier somehow. It doesn't make. Can a scientist explain this phenomenon to me? Like why getting split in half is somehow like more comfortable than, you know. All right, guys. Thanks so much for joining today. I'll see you on Thursday for Chapter 5. And hopefully we'll get some more video calls. I'm going to go eat dinner. So love you guys. Oh, and thanks again for voting for me for Gavian and making my dreams come true. Say bye, Ron.
Bye.
Bye.